to another episode of PTV. I'm Aaliyah Burnick.
And I'm Audrey Bellis. Some PHS students were really buzzing earlier this week.
What? Audrey, how do you mean?
I'm talking about our Scholars Bowl team. They were quick on their buzzers and did quite well at our home meet. Take a look to find out more.
Earlier this week, PHS hosted a Scholars Bowl meet with two Phillipsburg teams competing.
This was the home Scholars Bowl meet. Teams compete against each other in a round-robin format, answering questions, and the team with the highest score at the end of the round wins.
The competition presents questions that vary in difficulty.
I don't think any of the ones I ended up answering were too hard. I definitely buzzed in on some that I really did not know the answer to. I mean, there's probably a handful of math ones that I just threw out some random number.
Mrs. Still was pleased with the team's performances.
I think our teams did pretty well. The Phillipsburg teams were in the middle of the pack, which is about normal. Norton came on really strong. TMP was fourth, which they're usually pretty strong. Osborne surprised me coming in second.
I was on Phillipsburg 1, and I think we finished 5 and 4.
For PTV, this is Clayton Chestnut.
Our Scholars Bowl team wasn't the only student activity busy this week.
That's right. A team of art students traveled to Smith Center on Wednesday to represent PHS in the MCL art competition. Luke Hoover explains.
Select PHS art students traveled to Smith Center to compete in the MCL art contest.
Today was the MCL annual paint-in. We switched from having an annual show that was judged to having this because of the disparity in schools' budgets for their art programs. At 9 o'clock we're given the theme. At 9:30 the teachers all leave and go somewhere else, and so from 9:30 to noon students have to complete the work on their own without any input from the teacher.
Mrs. Peterson-Shea was overall happy with the students' effort.
I think they did a really good job. We took a different stance on what the theme was, and from talking to the kids it sounds like everybody really worked together well.
Honestly, I think it went pretty well. We didn't do basic things and it was all different.
All the students had fun at the competition.
My favorite part was definitely working with my teammates and just cooperating and just combining our ideas to where it could become reality.
I think adding all the details to the hand to make it more realistic.
The team ended up finishing 5th. For PTV, this is Luke Hoover.
Jalen, you didn't finish your workout.
Yes, I did, Kenny.
I don't think so, Jalen. I'm throwing the red flag on that one.
This situation is under review. After further review, Jalen did not finish her workout.
We're into the full swing of this semester now, so we thought we could get an inside look at what some of the classes are doing.
Hunter Miner brings us this report on some of the fun projects Mr. Weinman's coding class is doing.
Mr. Weinman's coding class is offering students a unique opportunity to advance their computer skills.
This is a program using microcontrollers, in this case Raspberry Pi Picos. It's kind of the beginnings of robotics. We're using sensors to direct certain outputs, whether that be LEDs or buzzers or even controlling motors to move things around. The beginning robotics is what it's about.
Students are learning the steps required to complete successful coding tasks.
So far what we're doing right now is learning how to put together components and then putting code into the PicoPi to learn or to tell the PicoPi what to do with the certain components.
This is just like a bath.
Students enjoy doing hands-on projects that can benefit their future.
What I like most about this project is getting the ability to learn about how computers were made and how later in the future I can use this as an advantage to future jobs.
For PTV, this is Harm Minor.
Aaliyah, if I asked you to recite Antony's funeral speech from Julius Caesar, could you do it?
Well, we memorized that as sophomores. I think I remember at least the first part. Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. The evil that men do live after them. And that's about all I remember.
Not too bad. It's a common practice for teachers to have students do memory work.
Yeah, and it's also a common response for students to have to say, why do we have to do this?
Well, that's what Leighton Johnson will try to show us in this next segment. Take a look.
Memorization, it's a part of our daily lives, from schoolwork, sports, and other extracurricular activities.
I had you guys memorize the preamble in middle school to try to help you understand the goals of the Constitution, what our founding fathers were trying to get into, what they wanted to put into the Constitution, and just see how important those things were to, some of the greatest people that have ever been a part of this country.
Memorization is proven to be a great way to work out our brains when studying or doing an assignment, even though we have the answers right in our back pockets.
Memorization, I feel, is important for a couple of reasons. I mean, first of all, though, it's probably not as important as it once was, because with the technology we have today, you can easily look something up. But I think it's really important for us to always challenge our minds and to continue to grow and learn. And I typically have my students memorize the preamble in 8th grade, but also most of my tests have at least one extra credit question, and that is, when did the U.S. declare independence from Great Britain? So they got to remember July 4th, 1776. So I think there's just a few things that we just need to know off the top of our heads. We need to memorize them, but I think it's something that can really help us grow.
Memory can be used through many different ways in school. Ms. Pocketbeer shows us how our English 2 class is using memory.
In English 2, I give students a memory work assignment when we read Shakespeare, because I want them to have a certain appreciation of what Elizabethan actors of that time period had to go through in memorizing lines for a play. So part of that unit is not just, reading and understanding Shakespeare, but understanding it as a performance. And memory work has something to do with that.
I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him.
I think it's important for students to exercise their memories for a lot of reasons. Will they ever need to know these lines in their job in the future? Probably not. But it does exercise their thinking skills and, like I said before, give them a certain appreciation for what it takes to be an actor on a stage. This applies to forensics as well. Obviously there's a correlation between, acting on a stage and doing forensics performances, and students who are able to memorize their lines and their scripts are able to show more confidence, and I think that's a good skill for them to have. It's kind of that practice and that preparation that goes into it also, and understanding that when you do put that practice and preparation into memorizing something, that you do get better at it and you gain confidence from it.
Not only does forensics help memory, but so does FFA. FFA members give speeches and use their memory work in judging contests.
So in high school, I was involved very heavily in FFA, and in FFA I memorized speeches. I did job interviews, so I memorized a few scenarios. I was a district officer, so I had to memorize a lot of speeches. And another thing was memorizing people's names. A lot of people don't realize that's something that's really important, but when you meet someone, you need to remember that name. And that is something that I definitely learned in high school. In my classes, my kids are doing their speeches right now, so they had to write, like my freshman, to write a 2 to 3 minute speech, memorize it. It was about agriculture. And then coming up in the spring later, we'll go to some livestock judging contests. In there, they'll have to memorize reasons.
For PTV, this is Leighton Johnson.
I'm fine!
So we're here with Seth Keaton, and he's going to tell us about the dent that he put in his car because his brother ratted him out. So, Seth, what happened here?
Well, I was backing up with a feed truck, and I backed into the side of it.
So he backed into his own truck with another truck. That's a little irresponsible, wouldn't you say?
Yep.
Are you proud of yourself?
Happens.
He's not wrong. Does happen. Okay, so there's a couple more dents, which you're claiming that Cole did. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay, so there's one here, one over here. So what happened here?
I believe he backed up into a fence post.
These boys and backing up into things. It's just, they should not be allowed on the road is my conclusion.
With the recent snow we've had, I'm surprised there aren't a few more cars out in our PHS lot with more dents and scratches.
Let's hope that doesn't happen. But the weather has brought a couple of extra snow days, which I'm not complaining about.
That was a fun break, and I even got the chance to take my PTV camera outside and see what the kids were doing on their snow days. Take a look.
The best notification ever. It's a snow day. That means it's time to go play.
I am going sledding.
Many of the kids found themselves having a good time and wanted to sled down the hill again and... Some parents may not typically take their kids sledding, but are happy to have them go with friends or family.
Me and my kids usually don't go sledding because there's not really any hills in the area. However, my niece does like to take my kids sledding in the snow at the park.
Although the kids had fun, some of the parents had different views on the weather conditions.
I do not like it when it snows, not even a little bit.
Overall, the experience was enjoyed by everyone who came. For PTV, this is Aaliyah Brunick.
Along with snow days, sometimes having assemblies is a nice change up to our regular schedule.
I bet you're referring to the Doane Choir coming to perform to some of our students last week.
Yeah, I am. Adam Mascarenas gives us a recap of that.
To promote their program and share their music, the Doane University Choir performed for the PHS music students.
Yeah, so our school, Doane University, is touring all over the Midwest right now. That's our tour this semester. So we stopped here to perform at the high school, and we've been doing that through the whole tour.
PHS students appreciated the opportunity to watch and learn from these singers.
I think they brought a lot of different pieces, and it was really interesting to see how well they all came together and sang.
For students, creating and performing music is much more than just a hobby.
I just love our group. Like I said, I'm a music education major, so I've been singing ever since I was a kid. I also got the opportunities to sing a solo, so I love to do that as well.
This concert has special significance for one PHS singer.
Knowing I'm going to Doane and knowing I'll be a part of their choir, it really kind of just put things in perspective to me, and kind of reality just kind of set in.
For PTV, this is Adam Mascarenas.
Your turn.
This is awful. Okay, I think it was Allie.
It was.
I think Dayton has the water.
Jaden.
I went first last time, you Trick it. Trick it. Nope.
Phillipsburg has been going through some changes with restaurants lately, like how Shelly Ann's just reopened under a new ownership and a new name, the Farmhouse Kitchen.
I've heard it's pretty good. In fact, we're lucky to have a lot of good restaurants in our town. But I'll still have to say that I miss the Chicken Inn and the Chubby Pickle.
Yes, the Chicken Inn building is completely gone, and Chubby Pickle building has gone through quite a transformation. Allie Van Koon went to find out more on what's going on with that, and this is what she found.
Driving down State Street, you might get a blast from the past looking at where the Chubby Pickle once stood.
The building was purchased in 1962 from the Boyces, who had a rock garden building structures over here, miniature buildings, somewhat like what I built here, except they were made out of rock. Then in 1963, Phillips Petroleum bought the building or the property from them and began the construction of this 1963 Phillips 66 gas station. And it was first run by Don Andrews, which is Candy Yoxel's dad. I don't know if you know her from the middle school or not. It was her dad. He was the first and I believe the only manager of the place. It was a 66 gas station basically until 1980s when Interstate went in and took all the traffic away from Highway 36, and then it closed down with a lot of other gas stations around the area. And Les and Mike James bought it, converted it to an arcade with pinball and video machines and stuff like that for young people to come in and entertain, enjoy themselves. Then in around the 1990 period, Janice and Mike Patterson bought it and converted it to the Chubby Pickle. And then we bought it last year, and I'm trying to restore it to the original 1963 Phillips 66 gas station look.
While it only serves as a storage building for now, Bunch hopes to open it up to the public in the future.
The building will just be used as a storage building for myself and a place to hang out with friends and watch parades as they go by, car cruises that they have 3 or 4 times a year. I'll open it up for that. So,
for PTV, this is Allie Van Koon.
Tyler, put that away.
What? It's just a calculator.
How many times have I had to tell you to get off of your phone? It's going to count as a detention. You know what? We need to challenge this.
This situation is under review. After further review, Tyler did not have a phone. He indeed had a calculator.
What are you doing on your phone, Aaliyah? Not only are we in class right now, but more importantly, we're on the air.
Oh, sorry. I was just trying to figure out how I should reply to this snap.
Don't ask me. My Riz is just mid.
If you don't know what she's talking about, then this next story is for you.
W Riz.
I'm back with yet another abused car. Jordan, tell us a bit about your car.
This is Barbara, named after Barbara Streisand. She's really cute and funky and fresh, and I love her.
If she's so cute, why did you abuse her?
I didn't!
Then what is this?
That
is a Band-Aid. How did this come to be?
My grandma made the Band-Aid.
How did you get the dent?
It's not even so much a dent. It's like a hole. It's like a hole. Poor gal. Yeah.
Oh, you're not done. Scoot over.
Oh boy.
Jordan?
Yeah.
What's going on here?
A lot.
So how did that happen? That's right. She abused her car.
Listen, I want to make a statement. I've only hit 4 things, and only 2 of them were alive. Batting 50.
You're done.
It's not uncommon for students to want to earn a little extra money, especially now that prices seem to be really high.
Many students turn to part-time jobs to help make ends meet. Here's a look at some PHS students and their jobs.
From grocery stores to restaurants, PHS students work in a variety of different places.
I work at White's, so I stock shelves and things like that.
Even if they don't make a lot, students are provided with valuable experiences for later in life.
I make just a little above minimum wage, $7.75.
Students can also learn how to deal with time management and other responsibilities.
I would say balancing this job with homework isn't that difficult yet, because most of the time we get homework in school, we have enough time to finish it in school with other classes, having extra time or stuff like that.
For PTV, this is James Krausar.
Where were you second hour?
What do you mean? I was in my office all second hour.
I walked by your office and I didn't see you. I'm going to challenge that. The situation's under review.
No, it's 9:02.
After further review, Burst was in his office second hour.
I told you so.
Now it's time for our PTV Sports Update with Layton and Dayton.
Hey Panther fans, it's time for your PTV Sports Update. I'm Layton Johnson.
And I'm Dayton Huguenin. The Panther wrestlers are in a tough part of their schedule, as last weekend they headed to Hayes for their Bob Coon Classic. I went with them to bring you this recap. Take a look. The PHS wrestling team continues their season by going to Hayes for the Bob Coon Classic.
We're wrestling at the Bob Coon Classic. This is day 2 of the tournament, so we had some placing rounds today. We ended up going with 3 placers. Caden Sisson finished second at 120. Carson Midel finished 5th at 150, and then Caden Hudson finished 5th at 165 today.
Freshman Blake Bursch's first experience at the Bob Coon Classic was a good one.
I think we did really good. We got a couple placers, so yeah, it's pretty good.
Coach Kenny was overall pleased with the wrestlers' performances.
You know, with Hudson coming back and winning that one in a tight battle, and then Carson Midel coming all the way back through, wrestling tough matches. Blake Bursch had some tough matches. Great weight class at 132. Colton Doherty wrestled really well today. Was a match away from getting in the medal round. So, you know, there's a lot of matches I thought they wrestled well at.
While the team performed well, there are some things that need to be corrected.
You know, we got to get better getting off bottom. We got to start listening and practice a little bit more, getting out of our comfort zone, doing things that we know that will be consistent. and stuff, and just get back to the basics.
Sophomore Caden Sisson agrees that the tournament went well, but some things need to be fixed.
I performed good the first day. I need to fix a few things on the finals match.
For PTV, this is Dayton Huguenin.
Good luck to our wrestling team, who competes at Norton today for the MCL tournament.
Speaking of tournaments, last week was also a big week for our Phillipsburg basketball teams as they competed in the MCL tournaments. Our boys team entered the tournament as the 4th seed, which allowed them a home game in the quarterfinals. Damian Gregory shows us how that went. To start their MCL tournament, the Panthers met up with Trigo at home in the quarterfinals. Sophomore Caden Seams scores the first points of the game as he puts down this jumper at the top of the lane. Later in the first quarter, Brad Rodriguez drains the baseline tray to give Phillipsburg a 9-4 lead. On the next offensive possession, Jesse Blackburn pulls up for another 3-pointer for the Panthers. To finish the first quarter, Julius Stutterheim uses the screen to drive the lane for this floating layup to put the Panthers up 14-13. In the second quarter, Seams picks up the loose ball and puts it in to score the only points for Phillipsburg in that low-scoring quarter. The Panthers trail at halftime 16-18. In the third quarter, Blackburn gets an old-fashioned 3-point play to regain the Panther lead. And Seams gets this 3-pointer to fall to make it 22-20 in favor of the Panthers. Trailing by 6, Zordon Taylor grabs the deflection and narrows the deficit. To pull within 3 points, Rodriguez gets the assist to Seams on this play. And then Caden Seams shoots this 3 to tie the game 36-36. The Panthers don't look back after that, and Julius Stutterheim seals the deal with this final point. Phillipsburg wins 44-40. Winning the first game in the tournament was a good start for the Panthers.
It was big stakes. It's a tournament game, and we don't want to be on the loser side of the bracket. And the free throws, they come naturally. I work on them. They're part of my game, and I executed. I feel like we all executed very well.
As a team, we played amazing, and we played a good defensive game. Only held them to 40 points. So,
Coach Sides is pleased with how his players stayed strong throughout the entire game.
Tonight's game was, we knew it was going to be a difficult one. We just got done playing Trigo, and then they come back to our house again, and we barely beat them last week, so they knew it was going to be tough. And it was a slugfest all the way to the end, and we just kind of battled, and we stood the fourth quarter. We were down 5 going in the fourth quarter, and we outscored them, I think, like 13-4. So it was a huge fourth quarter for us, and I think our depth helped us win that ball game.
For PTV, this is Damian Gregory.
After defeating Trigo in the quarterfinals, the Panthers then faced off against the number 1 seeded Ringnecks of Hill City. It was a tough battle, but the Panthers fell short 39-44.
So that put Phillipsburg in the third place game, where they matched up against Russell. Russell kept the upper hand, and the Panthers lost 39-48 for a 4th place finish.
In the girls' tournament, our Lady Panthers came in as the number 1 seed, so they took on Oakley in the quarterfinals at home. Nathan Fisher recaps the action of that game.
The number 1 seed Lady Panthers played the Oakley Plainsmen at home for the quarterfinals of the MCL tournament. For the first points of the game, Taryn Sides dishes down to Heather Skimper for this bucket. As Heather Skimper stuffs an Oakley Plainsman, she outlets to Taryn Sides for a coast-to-coast layup. At the end, the Panthers lead 22-5 in the first quarter. Keaton bounce passes to Bryn Billings, who nails a 3. Kayla Jacobs finds Bryn Billings for this easy 2-pointer. At halftime, the Lady Panthers lead 39-11. Trinity Gross does a spin move and cashes in 2 more points for the Panthers. Carissa Keaton's defensive pressure leads to this steal by Sides, who takes it downtown for a bucket. Jacobs drives in towards the basket and scores this and one. The Lady Panthers led 67-17 in the third quarter. Jocelyn Billings completes this overhead pass down to Kaylin Means, who picks up 2 more points for the Lady Panthers. In the end, the Panthers won 71-27. The players thought this was a good game to start the tournament.
I think that our intensity, we came out of the game ready to go. I mean, it's MCL week, so who isn't ready? But yeah, I would say our intensity and then just sharing the ball. Everyone got on the board. And yeah, we played really well together.
We're going to take on the fact that we can all run the floor. We have really fast girls, so we can work hard. Our defense is really well, and we're going to keep using our press.
Well, I thought we started out really well. I thought our pressure defense was big in getting us some easy buckets early on, and we just continued that defensive pressure and build a lead.
For PTV, this is Nathan Fisher.
After dominating Oakley in the quarterfinals, the Lady Panthers battled Ellis in the semifinals. Ellis kept the game close in the first half, but then Phillipsburg dominated the second half to win 58-34.
Next up for the Lady Panthers would be Hoxie in the championship game. Hoxie had a hot start, but not enough to keep our girls from pulling away to get the decisive 61-39 victory. Congratulations to our Lady Panthers for winning the championship of the MCL tournament.
Our basketball teams are in action at home tonight as they host Smith Center.
We hope you can come out and watch the games, but if you can't, tune in to Panther Television for the live stream.
That's all the time we have for sports today. I'm Dayton Huguenin.
And I'm Leighton Johnson. Go Panthers!
Hey Audrey, do you know what this Sunday is?
Well, according to this, January 29th is National Puzzle Day. There's also National Curmudgeon's Day. That's a fun one. I know some people who celebrate that every day.
Well, it also happens to be Kansas Day. And I know you know that because you took the lead on the next story. Let's see what you've got for us.
What year did Kansas become a state?
I don't know. 1814. 1890.
1832.
Oh my god. 1863.
1861.
That's right. What is the Kansas bird?
Meadowlark. Is it like a monarch? The meadowlark.
The meadowlark?
That's right. What is the state motto and what does it mean?
I honestly have no idea.
Ad astra per aspera.
Ad aspera per aspera or something like that?
Ad astra per aspera, and it's Latin for to the stars through difficulties.
What is the state flower?
Sunflower.
The sunflower?
Sunflower.
Sunflower.
What is the Kansas insect?
Oh, I feel like I should know this. The bee.
Grasshopper.
The honeybee?
Is it like a bee?
That's correct. It's a honeybee. I'm back again with allegedly more car abuse. Christina, I'm a bit confused though because there's no car here.
My car was stolen and driven all the way to Chicago.
And this is the car that could barely start sometimes?
Barely made it from the high school to the Huck Boyd.
So how did it get to Chicago again?
We have no idea. He must have drove it like he stole it.
I don't know. I think you had the lemon juice.
You can go.
What?
Drink. Drink. Oh, we have to drink all of it? I think I missed it.
I think his was the lemon juice, and his was the squirt.
I feel like you had like the sour cream and you had the yogurt. I was wrong. Figured.
Yes. Eat up. Did you take multiple bites?
Yeah.
Weirdo.
I feel like Tanner got the Greek yogurt.
My taste buds are gonna be everywhere today.
Okay, Gabby, go first.
Okay, I'm kind of scared.
Okay. I think Gabby got the tomato paste and Marissa got the hot sauce. Really?
Yeah.
Dang it.
That's good tomato paste.
The entire air is filled with hot sauce. Now, Garrett, you got this.
This one smells like it has a lot of tomato sauce. in
Just go. It just smells like hot sauce everywhere.
You just went to towel. You just went
I didn't drink it all, but not bad.
He's not sweating. So.
Chug, 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 chug.
Oh, this is nasty. That's disgusting. Well, probably.
They're both disgusting, I can tell you that.
Hot sauce. Yeah. Yeah,
I just had so much
It's
tomatoes.
spicy.
That wraps up this episode of PTV. I'm Audrey Bellis.
And I'm Aaliyah Brunick.
Stay classy, Phillipsburg High.